How's everyone doing tonight? I hope well. I hope everyone's doing well. Who wants to start off tonight with a code review? I have there's some code out there that I need, so I'm gonna go review it. So we're gonna go review it. Let's see. That's GitHub, null channel editing. I need a thinking face. I need a thinking face. None of this. None of this garbage. Waiting was supposed to be for future purposes when the implementing of job queue. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you did all the other things, which is good enough. All the other comments that I had were probably the more important ones. Cool. Cool. Let's give this the good old approval. Let's see. Go. Let's go. Okay, merged it. Beautiful. Now we can go get it ourselves, which I think will be nice. Oh. Actually, logs, Twitch. Did we get a connection message? Yeah. I think we have Twitch alerts. I actually think we have Twitch alerts. This thing needs a lot more work because there's two things that need reconnect logic that don't have reconnect logic. So yeah, so one is the front end application doesn't reconnect to the back end if it loses connection, which is kind of bad. That's probably the worst one because if something happens with that WebSocket connection, it just dies. And right now we're not ping ponging, which means stuff in the middle could definitely kill it easy enough. Um, like I'm not even sure if it's still alive. But that will have to be later. We have more important things. We have more important things. Okay. Let's get over to Eddington. What changed? Oh, I just added a new line at the end of the file. I'll save that. Wait, no, I didn't. Oh, I just updated indentation. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these. We're gonna build the API. Build container image API. All right, so basically we want to make an API to let somebody build. Actually, that's a bad name. Let's 1 second. Get checkout main get fetch upstream. What would be a good name? What would it be? So let's do get checkout new app API. I think this is closer to the truth. And we also have to check out our webhook. If this will be better. Why am I looking at this? Oh, I don't know. Actually, let's just close all this. One second, cancel. Do I want to save this? Control plane, control plane, control. Oh, yeah. Let's keep this around. New. All right. So we want an API to call to create an application, and we're going to build that in our API. Like I said, this is effectively what people would consider a monolith at this point, and that's okay. All right, so here is our post for app. All right, so we have this create an application. I almost think this should be like a Kubernetes controller. Because we almost want to be able to retry a like if it fails, what do we do? We really should like try to retry and reconcile and stuff like that, but I don't know. This is kind of where I more think of it as like an event architecture makes sense to me when you have these types of things. But you know what? We're just going to go with this. All right, let's create a database for app. Let's see. We're going to do it the same way we did users. So let's do folder, models. Okay, so we have our models. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and make this package models. Beautiful. I don't think I need any types right now. All right, so we need. I'm learning. We're just gonna copy this one right here because this is a good relation. I'm learning bun. I'm not gonna say I'm good at bun at this point, but I'm learning bun. So for this, we need a type of struct for app. We'll call this null application, and I don't actually think we need this. So maybe just a single table. Yeah. Um, and I guess we'll get this by org ID. Do this org ID, and I believe that's going to be a string. No, I think it's actually an I64 because that's just an auto increment ID. Should our orgs be GUIDs? Probably. Man, I have something on my finger that is killing me. Let's jump over to our user model. I believe it's an N64. I think we're gonna have to change that to a GUID. I think this is bad, but yeah, okay, but we'll leave it as an I64. So our org ID is probably not the persistent because you could have different ones. Um, the application, does this need to be actually on the user service? I feel like it does. I feel like we're making something for over here. No, I think what it is, okay, so we kind of did this, get user context, which is going to return a user context. And this user context is returning the org. With the org, when we create a new application, we can do everything that we need because we have the ID of the org, we have the resource groups, which we have to put in a resource group. So, okay, I think we're good here. Sorry, I just had to think that through. Yeah. All right, so for this, we'll have we'll have a name, we'll have a resource group. And the resource group's ID is an int64. So we'll just go ahead with that. Resource group. Int 64. It doesn't need any buttonishness, right? We can just delete all this. It's just a standard, plain old. I think maybe we have to give it a name. So maybe we do need to do bun on each one, just kind of like we do JavaScript or not JavaScript. Well, to be consistent, we'll put ID over here. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Well, we have the actual application, and I think this is where there's a little bit of a disconnect between. So we have what's coming in here. So here it's like this is just giving us one piece. And I think we're going to stick with this, but we got to mutate. The actual data structure is going to be different because the idea is a null app could have multiple images, multiple things, multiple repositories. It could be a microservice architecture. And because of that, we have this concept over here. I'm trying to think this through. This is where the rubber meets the road. So in the application container runner, internal controller. Okay. So in here, or actually we could just look at the API. This is what our API looks like. We have a null application with an app name and then a bunch of apps in it. This felt right when I was doing it. I don't know that it is. Oh, let me make an announcement. I won't be streaming Thursday, and Saturday will be shorter. There we go. All right. That's posted in Discord. Yep, we have some birthdays coming up this week, so it's actually mine and my daughter's birthday. All right, so in here we have this idea where there's a bunch of apps, but I think, and like they're gonna be able to have like communication, and it's gonna be awesome, and yada yada yada. But for our first goal, we're just doing one. But what I think we're going to do is we're going to hold to this format. We're just going to massage it in the API. So over here, this is not at all what I was looking for. Let's see. Over here, we're gonna just let them pass in, not not an image. What we need. Where's this application? We're gonna change this. We don't want an image. We want. I suppose we can still let them deploy a pre-made container image, yeah? Hmm. What would that look like? Let's just start typing. So if we let them do it two different ways. Now, the thing is, we could make the front end have two different routes, or we could just make this route, this REST request, take a plethora of different things. So let's go down that path first. I like keeping the front end simple. So we have an image, or we have a Git repo. I don't remember off the top of my head. Do I have to make this optional? Do I have to make it a pointer? Right? Now, this is going to complain. Cannot use C post from value of type string as a string. Okay, so it's going to give an empty string. So I guess maybe what we do is we just check for an empty string instead of a nil string. I guess an empty string isn't valid, so considering an empty string to be nil is fine. I don't generally like to do that. I consider those like magic numbers, but in this context, I think it will be safe. Image Git repo. Okay. There we go. And then that puts us. We have our name. I think we'll control app version. So, yeah, and I think that will be the commit hash. So, let's see, app version, and then the apps, which will be the name, image, CPU, memory. Okay. Let's see. Of the app, though, I guess this service only concerns itself with the image. But in our database over here, I don't know what happened there. With our database over here, we probably need to do something. But what? But what do we need to do? So what I'm thinking is we kind of need to, because if they give us a Git repo, we actually need to have an image eventually. That's how we run everything. And likewise, over here, we actually only care about the image. We don't need the Git repo. So if we're talking about the models here, let's see. Let's do another table. This one's going to be a... No. It's not an interface. It's not an interface, you silly goose. This is completely off. It's thinking we're writing the controller right now, but let's see. It needs to have all of the stuff that we have over here. Doesn't have to have all this stuff. We need to have the image, the name, the image. Actually, honestly, we probably have to have all this stuff, don't we? We could let Kubernetes be the source of truth, but that makes a weird disaster recovery. So I think we're going to do this. All right, so the stuff that we need on top of this, though, I might just do this. What am I thinking? I'm kind of zoning out tonight, guys. I don't know. Definitely not high performing tonight. Definitely not high performing. Okay. We have our service. Oh, here. I guess, do we put something like type? We can just do like a type of string. I'm kind of thinking like there's like major impact. Hey, Monta, how are you? I'm sorry, I'm a little zoning out. It's good to see you though. I was just trying to think of. So I'm trying to build the API that the front end can call to create a back end application. Um, and basically, I actually think, as it is, we can not that. 1 second. As it is, I'm trying to keep it where we can just use this. Basically, actually, we'll need a type in here too. I'm trying to keep the front end really I'm trying to keep the front end really simple. So basically, they can pass an image, or they can pass the Git repo with the type that it is. Is it a Node.js? Is it a whatnot? Um, and and we'll figure the more complex ways out later. That's the idea, at least. And I'm trying to let's put this in here. Repo type. The thing that I'm trying to do here, or think about, is how we store this in the database. I did this type, and kind of what I was thinking of is something like type. I'm going to call it like build type. Build type. Oh, you're good. 3 a.m. Got an interview with a French company at 11 a.m. Ooh, you go to bed, dude. Thanks for joining, but you go to bed. Please. um, Nighthound, the two of you are insomniacs. My goodness, it's late. Here's the not giving away your guys' locations, the European time zones. I know that neither of you are in Europe. Showing up, showing up. How are you? You two need to learn to go to sleep. All right. So what I was thinking here with like the build type is we could just make this like an enum of like a node. Oh, you went to sleep at. Oh. Oh, that's the worst, Monta. I've done that before. Or like what I do is I will have a really late night, but I'll have a meeting at like 8 a.m. and I'll have or my son has type 1 diabetes, and he was born with it. So there's nothing. He didn't do anything. And sometimes his blood sugar will be doing crazy stuff, and I won't be able to sleep because I'll have to stay up to monitor it to make sure he's okay. And so I'll go to bed at like 3 or 4, and I'll have like a meeting at 8 a.m. And so I'll have to get up at that meeting, and then I'll be like working throughout the day, and it'll become like 4 p.m. and I will crash and go to sleep, and then I'll wake up at 3 a.m. wide awake, and I'm like, shoot, shoot. um, Gosh. All right. So I'm gonna ask a favor of you guys. I think I got everything with the Twitch alerts working. I don't know if the front end connected 100% properly. Well, it did, but I don't know if it will reconnect like it's supposed to. So if one of you guys wants to stop following and then refollow, we could test that. And this is the production system, so I can't like test it locally. All right, so we were shooting for Node, Go, Rust, and Python. We're testing in production. There's no way to test production except in production. Why do you think you have A/B tests? Red, green, red, blue test. Like, why do you think those exist? Because some things are only testable in production. Look at that. Look at that. It's working. Look at that follow. In the land of Whisper Song, a misfit halfling named Nighthound yearn for purpose. Wise adventure, you cross paths. Together, you face trials, battling through hunted forests, vanquishing vile beasts. Your courage proved true, and Nighthound witnessed your valor. I'm telling you, this AI loves me. Oh man! All right, awesome. It is working. So we have our own Twitch alerts. I'm super happy about this. Absolutely happy about that. There's some work to be done. We need like a sound or something for it to play. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know why that makes me as happy as it does. Literally no other streamer has this, although they could because it's all open source. So, you know, if they want to, they're more than welcome to go get it. All right. Thanks for running that test, Nighthound. Check it out. 1 second. It's this one. See, yep. And it's saved in a database, synchronized with the cloud for backup. It's pretty fantastic. All right, so we have our things that we want. This is just what I'm thinking right now, that we store the type in here, which means we also have to store the repo. The only thing that's getting a little strange... yeah, of course. The only thing that's getting a little strange about all of this is this Git repo. Because if they give us just a container image, oh, you know what? That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Is we'll do a container. So container has its own container image. Have you guys seen the website yet? It's actually kind of working. It's kind of working. I have some work to get done on it, but it's actually kind of working. You can go here, nullcloud.io, and you can sign up with your email to get alerts when it's ready. And this kind of works. I say it kind of works. One thing that we need to work on is you can't click here. Well, maybe you can. Last time I tried clicking there, it didn't work. You had to like click the subscribe button. Maybe it does work. So you can give me your email and get updates when we go live. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. All right. So I guess we're just going to go down with this path. This seems like a little bit too much. And actually, we need to actually partition this into like an application. So uh-oh, Nighthound, you have competition for the name, it sounds like. What, oh, is this one of your guys' light novels? When you say light, I always think, like, not many pages. You guys are killing me. But you guys mean, like, Japanese anime manga stuff, right? You don't mean, like, a light novel. I got so confused. Oh, my gosh. I don't read stuff with pictures in it. This is going to sound really weird because being a dyslexic person, you'd think that pictures help. Really big text helps. That's why my text is so large. This is a 4K monitor. You guys actually get it much smaller, so this text is huge. That helps. Pictures actually make it harder to read. For me at least. I struggle with like even comic books. I very much struggle with anything that has pictures. Never was able to get into it. Okay, I think I'm going around the bush. I think we need to get rid of this. Not manga. It's a novel that gets transferred to manga. I guess I don't understand what that is. Um, you're saying like they start out as books and then like people. I am not big into manga, so forgive me, but manga seems to me like comic books, just Japanese style comic books. Maybe they're a little bit bigger, I think, like thicker. Comic books seem to be really skinny. Like I said, I'm into neither of them, so forgive me. Um, this is like the repo commit get Shaw. Um, so you're saying they start as novels and then they go to comic books. They start as is that what you're saying? Effectively? Okay, cool. Like I said, I don't yeah, I don't. Now, this service can have many microservice specs. Now, I need to see how to do this in Bun again. I don't remember. I'm not very good with Bun, and it's has many to relationships. So, this is what we are wanting to do right here. Has many join on ID. Got it. Got it. Got it. We're just gonna copy and paste that. But it's not resource. Oh wait, not there. It's here. Not resource groups. This is microservice specs. Oh, Monta, while I do have your attention, I know that you've done a little bit on the I say a little bit, a lot on the front end. If you do shoot for doing anything for creating, this is the API. I think I'm going to hold to it right here. So effectively, there's form post with name, image, get repo, repo type, resource group. I know that we're making all this other stuff in models over here. That is going to be created, but all of this stuff is going to get created with default stuff like the CPU and memory. You're not allowed to set that at the beginning. We're literally going to set that for you. So it's not going to be part of the API. So you can just do the bare minimum, which is these things right here, and that should create an application. And we can work on defining the get application, but the get application should just you know what, this should return an okay, and we'll have to create a function to get to list all the applications for our user, and the get application will just be by ID. So if you're doing something and want to, that's what this is there, and I'll be checked in tonight or in the morning for you. Which cult translation? Uh so what I'm doing right here is we're trying to use bun here. Yeah, I don't know why it says Jason all over the place here because I copied and pasted like a maniac. But we're trying to use bun here to have a little bit of a database. Have a little bit of database. I think I don't know if this sounds really fantastic or a little bit scary. I was thinking that the very first deployments would just do it in SQLite effectively in memory, which means everybody's crap gets lost if it restarts. That does sound scary. I worked last night. Last night I had to update Argo to version 2.7 because the join ID does need. I had to update this because I was on 2.4 and I had to update it from 2.4 to 2.5, then from 2.5 to 2.6, and then 2.6 to 2.7. All yesterday because the Postgres operator required a server-side sync that wasn't supported until 2.6. The reason it's at 2.7 is because I upgraded from 2.5 to 2.6 and it wasn't working. And I tried to get it was just broken, and then I just upgraded it to 2.7 and it started working again. So solid, and it was awesome work from me. So yeah. All right. So basically, this is I'm just trying to think through what we need as an application in our database. So the cool thing eventually, this initial one, they'll only be allowed to run one microservice. But the idea is that you can run multiple microservices and they'll all be networked together with logging and whatnot. So I'm going to try to do this. Yeah, so let's go back to here because I forget. This is ID to org ID. Was that this org ID? This does ID to resource group ID, which is no. I need to pull up Bun again. I get confused as how they do this because for the longest of the times, I was understanding it wrong. That's not what I wanted. Where is their examples? Here we go. All right, so let's do their relationship. What relationship are we doing? We are doing a has many. A has many. That's not the file. All right. So this is joining ID. We don't have to have bun on every single thing. Okay, that's good to know. I was putting bun on everything just to give it a name, but I think that's only if you need it to user ID. User ID, I think, is this here. You know what, Monta? On that note, I can't complain. I live in a place where the medication to give him a semi-normal life is rapidly available. And so I can't complain. Would I love that he didn't have type 1 diabetes? Sure. Something he was born with. Does he get an exactly normal life? No, but he'll live healthily. We just sometimes have bad blood sugar nights. Sometimes I'm up very late because okay, weird fact. When you're going through a growth spurt, your blood sugar is very hard to manage. So I can tell when he's going through a growth spurt, purely from it's almost impossible to I will go weeks without sleep because of his blood sugar. Which is I guess interesting, but not it. So we have to put the user ID here. And this is the user ID of that's this ID right here. And so this is saying this ID marries to this ID. That's the join. This is the join ID. Okay, I got it. Yep, that's join. ID. We're cooking. I'm sorry. I don't know why bun trips me up each time. So on here to match, we don't actually have an ID here. So I guess we just need ID. That's an auto incrementing. That should be fine. And then on this microservice spec here, I don't like the word microservice. I think I told you guys this. We need to change it to something else than microservice. Maybe just service spec. Maybe just service spec. I like that. I like that. A service spec. I could have just F2'd that, but I did not. All right, so this service spec needs a ID pairing. Oh, it needs an ID too. Okay. And then it needs to... My goodness. This needs to be updated to... this needs to have null application ID. That's why I was not thinking on all cylinders there. And then this can be null application ID. Is that right there, Dutch? Yeah, okay, yeah. Your null application service needs one, yeah. So now we're getting the list of service specs when we get this by joining on this table, and we're matching this ID with the null application ID. Okay, and then we need to do this with our route spec too. Our route specs we're going to leave empty, but the idea was that we could let people specify the routes they want because we can expose that little bit of Istio to them. So like within their subdomain, they could specify some routes they don't want people accessing that are either private or, public or things like that. But we're not going to touch these for right now. This was just more of a thought. I'm going to leave them in here, but we're not doing them right now. Maybe I should just delete them. I'm going to delete them for right now because you know what? No need to scope creep. I'm really bad about scope creeping. I'm very much better about it when I'm at work. And when somebody gives one of my team scope creep, I'm like, oh, that's scope creep. Get it out of here. When I'm on my personal projects, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, Russell's actually pretty good about holding me to scope creep. Let's add S to the table side for plural. S to the table side of what for plural? I like the idea. Oh. Service specs. Like it. I got it. Okay. So I think this is all we need. And so now when we... What is scope creep? Oh, you got moderated, Monta. You called me a creep. Twitch thought you called me creep. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or actually asking. If you're actually asking, I will go on a little bit of a tangent about what scope creep is. This is scope creep. This tangent is actually scope creep. So basically, you'll have a product person come to you and ask you to build this box. And you'll say, this box will take me... this box will take me... Why isn't it allowing me to type on it? Delete you. Let's just try this. I know these let me type on them. You'll say that this will take me 1 month to do, to build this box. And then, and everything is dandy. Everything is dandy. This is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. We're making it look nice. Everything is dandy. We'll build this box in a month. And then they're like, well, while you're building that box, right about here, right about here, they're like, while you're building that box, couldn't we also build this box on the side? You see that overlap? Can you add this on? This is scope creep when they're like, hey, look, you're already doing that, and here's a new feature. This is what we defined as our MVP originally, this right here, this box, this is what we're building for our MVP. And you allow things to come up. And it's hard because a lot of times this feature that gets added here will sound like a good idea, that it will sound like something that's good. But the problem is, if you let it happen, right here, this box will get added on. And when you add this box on, you'll inherently change a little bit about this box. So this box will get, a little add-on here that will get put on to, rectify some of the API. These will have to communicate or something. So you'll get this box added on. And then, you're here and you haven't even gotten the original box done. And you fail a time. Like, you'll never get this done in the time. So this is the classic example of scope creep. I put a limitation on myself that I said, hey, I want to get something out there that people can use by the end of July. Now, whether I get it done or not, no big deal. This is just for Twitch and YouTube. But this is adding scope creep to me because, like I said, I wasn't planning on actually supporting those things, but I was having extra code in there, and when you have the extra code, you have to deserialize more. You have more things to, deal with. It's better to just delete it. You already know that that's a thing that you'd like to do. There's no reason to add extra stuff there. So anyways, this is kind of the scope creep concept. I don't know if that... Yes, right. Or a really good project manager will work with the engineering manager to be like, okay, well, if you want X, you're gonna have to give up Z, or you're gonna have to give us an extra time, or like they'll go to upper management and then argue what the consequences are and how they want to deal with that. But that's a really good TLDR, Dutch. Should have just gone with that instead of my explanation. I was drawing and crap. You're a good product manager. Oh, the ability to summarize well. All right. I'm really bad about it on personal projects because I need to get better about it because it does slow stuff down. Yeah, all engineers, PMs deal with this from superiors. It's a huge problem. It's actually, you know what I do in middle management the most? Deal with scope creep or fighting it. You don't know how many times you'll be like, just last year I was building a pretty big project. And the number of times people wanted to change the UI of it, you wouldn't believe how they'd be like, oh, well, let's actually change from rounded corners to this type of thing. And you're just like, can we change the color scheme now? Yeah, it's a big thing. All right, so we have this, and so let's think through this. We have this enum for our build type of no, Go, Rust, Python, or container image. I find this list to be really funny because like these two are completely different from these two. Just completely different. Like duck typing versus statically typed, compiled versus oh, that's fantastic. Dutch, this is an enum. How do you do an enum in Go? So this, I actually, oops. I did all this work and then I forgot to change the type to build type. Sorry. um, we should use framework name. Yes. Rust, Go, Python. Oh, is this Node.js? Are you wanting JS here? We can do that. Or can't you in the bun files? I think this is fine. I mean it's going to be a string, but I think that Go will deal with this just fine. Sorry, I forgot that I made it a string at first, and then I was like, oh, we should make it an enum, and I went back. Oh, you always do an int-based enum? You know, that's probably like, I don't know. It's probably not bad. I was hoping not to need to. So the int is much more like you don't accidentally have somebody on the front end that fat fingers container. But this to me is also a lot more clear as to what it is. Instead of if we made this an integer and these just mapped. This is actually why I like Rust enums so much, but yeah, you're talking about doing it like this. Const let's do type and then you can do like this. So what this does is it just gives this will be 0, 1, 2. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I feel like I hate enums of integer because they have so little meaning to them. But I do believe that Rust or Go goes between string and whatnot fairly well. So, you know, it's been like a year, maybe 2 years since I've written Go on a daily basis. So, let's just go with this because this is a pretty standard way of doing a numbered enum. And if we don't like it, we don't like it, and we'll move on. And we'll just come back. Do you just do then like a I don't know what this just did. Will this actually return the string like this? Is this I was going to do a case statement, but does this actually Oh, this is actually pretty cool what they did here. Just building a slice and then returning the This is actually pretty cool. Dude, so Dutch, I was going to do what you were going to do. But I was going to say, I've never done this, but if this works, I like it. Yeah, let's try it. Actually, let's go ahead and let's so I actually have this hack project here. Oh, did I delete the Go part of it? Ah, well, we'll just put it into the main. We'll just hijack main. All right, so we need a build type, and this is in the models. Oh, that I don't. Sometimes the Copilot like really wants to insert itself into like anyways, it really wants to like insert it. Let's see. Actually, do we just want to do like one? And then dude, I'm getting a little annoyed. Actually, I think Copilot keeps saying that it's I just want to or get rid of the AWS one. Although it's in the running, I have to keep it because we have our final game AI games this week, this Saturday. So I need to keep it going. I'm not gonna stream Thursday night though, just as a warning. It's my daughter's and my birthday, and the stream on Saturday is just going to be the AI games, and then we're done. Did we not make that a public? Oh, we did. Oh, this is an integer, not a build type. I need to do this would be models dot build type dot no not yeah, it would be dot rust, right? Yeah, rust is one. Why is this? Never mind. Sorry, I haven't done this for a little while. It would just be like this, rust. My bad. Okay, so let's run this. What are you complaining about? Why is it saying that it does not build type string undefined? Build type has no field or method string. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm pretty sure it does. What am I missing? And why is this just a warning? Let me run it. Well, something went wrong, okay? Something went wrong. I don't know why, It's not failing on this. It's literally just failing on... I'm running on Arch, yeah. Fancy icon. Yeah, no, it's just Arch. Let's see, what is it? We can cat Etsy. OS release. Look at that. Not that you couldn't fake this, but I suppose you could fake OS release, but just print but it should have string. It's a method. I guess I'm a little confused about that. It just prints 2 because it is a 2. 0, 1, 2. Like, that makes sense. I wanted to use this, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't see this string. That's what it was complaining about. It was saying that build type doesn't have a... And this isn't a pointer type. So you have this for season and 64. This is exactly what I did. Can I paste this one? Yeah, actually, let me just take this and post this in, let me just try that in the playground here. Let me do this. I'm just gonna put this as season, make that an S just to go along with it. And we'll just do this. And we'll delete that one. I said save. Oh my gosh. I hit Control S a little too fervently. This would be S. So it worked. So, let me say, I like this. I really do. I feel like this almost gets on the line of like trying to be too slick, but also at the same time, like, man, is this better than writing a massive switch statement. I mean, okay, I can make that an N64. I see how I would contend that you should be able to call string. I think you should be able to do. I think that should work, right? Yeah. So this should work. Like, and so like that's why I was trying it here, because it should work. Like calling the string function, but oh, it says it has it now. Are you kidding me that this was a is this is it because I changed it to an N64? Are you kidding me? It was just an int. One second. This is gonna fail. One second. Let's just test this, validate this. I didn't know this. No, it's still working. Nope. Nope. It's working now. It's working now. And I changed it back to an int. And it doesn't say it's an untyped int. So it should work with an int, because an int64 is just or this is on my machine is going to be like this is an alias for something that is at least as large as an i32 but can go up to an i64. I think it might even be able to go up to a 128 bit integer. Yeah, I saved. Let me save. See, I'm a habitual saver because too many times it's working now. We can delete this probably now. I don't know. I don't know what to do. What is it with me? And like the last 2 weeks, I have not been able to reproduce the load balancer not working. You know how my Twitch alerts load balancer wasn't working, and then all of a sudden it started working? I went back and watched the video, the stream, to replicate the exact configuration that wasn't working, and it was still working. Still working. All right, well, I'm going to delete this stuff. That was just to see if this would work, and this does, which is cool. I like this. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dutch, on this? I think this looks pretty slick, actually. I think it's a lot cleaner than like a The only thing, okay, actually, I don't know what this is, but my guess here is that if we add a new one, it won't fail. So this is my only problem with not doing the case statement, because a case statement, if you don't have a fall through, will fail, right? So this is my problem, I think, is Bob doesn't have a case, but there's no failure. Well, it means it will fail runtime, but that's fail eventually. Yeah, see, like this is not good. So I don't think I like it now. I think it's way easier to read. But as far as good code goes, I think it's bad. Shoot. I was liking it too. Well, okay, so I've been writing a lot of Rust in the last year, but Go doesn't allow you to not have a default case, or you have to have all of them, right? Let's not have this one. So in Rust, it wouldn't allow you to do this. But I guess you're right. I guess you're right that you can just not cover the case. This is what I like about Rust. Rust right here would complain, and it would say, no, you don't have all the cases. Oh, no, this does fail. Missing return. Because it doesn't, to guarantee that you return. Oh, it's going to make you return something anyways? That's stupid. Um, I don't like magic strings, and this isn't failing here. Okay, never mind. This suffers from the same thing. I don't like it, but this maybe is a little confusing at first, but is good. No, Manta, Rust enums are way superior to anything. Do you know what a union type is, Manta? Rust enums are effectively super-powered union types. Don't believe me? Watch my YouTube videos. Very powerful. Okay, we don't want a Bob type anyways. I'll leave it like this then. I guess there is no downside. Okay. So if this is our model, it's looking pretty good. We've got our type. So if we're any of these, we require these. So I guess maybe we should do like a little bit of a function to check the configuration. So like let's do a validation, and then we can also write a test for validation. Basically, if your type is any one of these have to be set. And if your type is container image, neither of these should be set. Yeah. See, I don't think I would, because I like my communications to be different from my database. Would be my only thing. Now, I don't generally use a thing like bun, because generally, yeah. Anyways, this is their validation. So let's see what it looks like. How are they validating this? They're saying if the service type is equal container. Okay, so basically, this is actually kind of interesting. The AI did pretty well. look, if it's a type container image, it's saying it doesn't have any requirements on these two fields. If it's of any other type, it's expecting a get repo and a get SHA. Okay, the service name is always required too. So it didn't do perfectly. And we could be a little bit more restrictive here and say that there can't be a get repo at all. I've seen database and interface get muddied before, and I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty dangerous path to couple those two. I feel like it's you get into this place where like I know that you can then all at any one point just decide to stop coupling them. But you usually end up for a while dragging around and being like, oh well, we'll keep it coupled. I love generating everything with protobuffers. I really do. All right, Dutch, what is your preference here? We could write this function like this, or we could write it as a method. I think I tend to lean towards this style, but I do feel like it's a really nice validate method. That's not at all. That was close. I feel like this is pretty clean, to be honest. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to go with this. I think this is nice that the function just or the type has the validate method instead of making a function. I think this is more altruistic. I ping pong back and forth from my love for functional programming and the usefulness of I don't know, these two do both the same thing. What's your preference, Dutch? I think I'm going to go with this one, unless if you have a different preference for a reason. Oh, if I save, it's going to. I need to actually use it. Go's really simple, dude. You can write Go. You can write Go. 100%. You can probably write a light novel with Go. There you go. Go is 100% approachable as a language. I think one thing that I writing Go good. This is what I was just going to go with you, Dutch. Is there is there are foot guns that people don't people don't think about. Like, is this a pointer or a a value? I'll just say a reference. Is this a pointer or a reference? Because if it's like this, you're gonna get a copy, and like it actually matters. And so there's a lot of foot guns around this, and Go doesn't lend itself, like in its simplicity. You use the dot syntax whether it's a pointer or a value, and you don't really know what you have. So then it can be confusing. Yeah, I was gonna say like there's definitely things that then just get muddied. Writing some Go is pretty easy. This is actually again why I like it's C++ with the ease of JavaScript and the memory management of C sharp, effectively. Or I would say maybe C, not C++, but yeah. It's C with the ease of JavaScript and the memory management of C sharp. Um, Wait, soon to what, Dutch? Oh. I think that's the worst part about Go is like up until 120. Up until 120, it was half a language. Okay, I'm not even going to give it that. It's still half a language. Okay, it's 3/4 of a language now. And like its package management is still rough compared to modern package management. Um all right, we need one that errors. So let's do of type container. And that one should fail if we give it a git repo. Um, okay. Was there other fail cases we didn't cover here? Oh, I guess if there's no name. Oh, wow. I just flipped through a bunch of things. All right. I guess if there's no name given. No named. All right, good enough. All right. That did fairly well for testing. I got the idea. This is a pretty standard pattern for Go testing. Let's see. If okay, so if we're running, we're going to validate the application service. Actually, let's flip this around since I think we're doing it the other way. Error equals tt dot validate. Yeah. And I think we'll delete the other model. I think I like the method. I think this is one of the reasons I get a little annoyed with like pure functional stuff. I like the concept a lot of the times. I find sometimes it makes the code a little bit harder to read and reason about. Whereas having a validate function, pretty solid. You don't need to know where to import it. It comes with the type or whatnot. And so I do go over both the Kubernetes and Go and Rust release notes. So if there are release notes that you'd like covered in the news section, let me know. I cover only the languages and things that are interesting to the community and me. So, you know, our favorite frameworks. Those are the default ones that get in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. First, no test files found. Maybe we have a few tests. Actually, I find testing APIs to be a little bit more difficult because a lot of times it turns out to be a integration test. Like, so I don't know. Which one of these failed? Get shot is required. Uh-oh. So we have this one doesn't have a get SHA. Git repo. It's not actually testing that they have a valid SHA. Just that it has a SHA. We can add to the validation logic. How's everyone doing? Now, just a reminder, friendly reminder, won't be streaming Saturday or Thursday. Won't be streaming Thursday. It's my birthday. My daughter's birthday is actually tomorrow, but she wanted to celebrate on Saturday, so I took, or she wanted to celebrate on Friday, so I took Friday off. So she could have a 3-day weekend. She likes that. My kids don't get school off in the summer, so except on their birthday. All right. So now I think our models are good to go. We have our null application service. Let's make one from our API. So this was like the minimum that I thought we could go with. And then the idea is that we'll just put defaults in a lot of this stuff. Because like a lot of this stuff, like in the service spec here, we're just going to put defaults for right now. You can't configure that. In theory, that should scale the CPU for you. Yeah. Do we just want to make a function that takes an application and gives us... Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I'm just going to make that in here for right now. See ya, Monta. Thanks for tuning in for a little bit. Now, I do have to warn you all. I got Twitch alerts working, so it's pretty awesome. We tested it in production. All right, let's see. Undefined models null application. Oh my gosh. It's a null application service. Do we want to rename this? Yeah. I think it should be a null application. Wait, did it fail to rename? Wait, we have a null application in the. Oh, we do. We do. What is this? Oh, this is the service definition, which joins onto the null application. Okay, we got it. Can't do that. What we can do is come back in here and. Why does this say it doesn't exist then? You can unfollow and refollow, Dutch. 100%. Go for it. You should get a a notification. I think I'm a little haunted. Look at that. In the heart of darkness. Dutch emerged, a rogue of cunning and skill. In a fateful encounter, your party battled a fearsome dragon. It does like dragons. It does. But you were overpowered. Suddenly, Dutch sprang forth, unleashing a lightning-fast flurry of strikes, aiding your victory. Impressed with your courage, Dutch pledged it. There it goes with pledging loyalty again. You'd think that I trained it with pledged loyalty, but I didn't. I promise, I didn't. But we have work to do on it. It's not perfect, but it's pretty fantastic because it's custom. Everybody gets their own. I feel like, yeah, I like it. I don't know why it is saying that this is undefined. I'm not sure. What am I missing? It's saying that this is undeclared. Go just hates me tonight. Go just hates me tonight. Oh, wait. I think I might know. Models might, what is it actually? Yeah, it went to user models instead of app models. Okay. The universe makes sense again. Um, that just hard failed there. There we go. Oh, no, come back. I love how when I save, it's like, oh, you're not using it? I'll just remove it for you. Ha. There we go. There we go. And the greatest thing is, that's now saved for all of history. So when we have a better website of people that support the channel, you're going to be able to see your entire story. Hopefully, I think, in the future. Okay, it should generate a new ID because that's the auto incrementing thing. We don't give it an ID, we give it an org. The org ID, okay, that should be passed in. Org. Like that. Org ID. Done. Resource group ID. Actually, no, not true. It should be, so when they post a thing, they should actually post which resource group. And we have this whole thing to get the resource group and return either their resource group or no resource group. So we need to actually just pass this in. I think that's an I-64. Yeah, yes, it is. That's it. That doesn't feel like it. I feel like I did this wrong. I feel like I've been here before where I want this to have an array of null application services because, you know, I did this backwards. This is the exact same thing as this, isn't it? Oh. Actually, it's not. So this is what we're going to run. But like, So like there could be multiple Git repos that build multiple images. I think I made this a mess. We got too sidetracked using enums. Let me mind map this really quickly. So basically, we want a null application that can have a bunch of different microservices. That's kind of the whole point, is you could have a microservice architecture without even really having to think about it. So each one of these has to have their own definition of stuff, and that's what we were saying the services were. Each one of these is a service inside of this application. So we have an application and it needs to have services. So that's what these would be. Now, the reason this had the service spec was basically stuff gets built off of this. Like, this is what the user, I guess this is kind of what I would say is like the user gave this information. This is stuff that we generate for them. You know, like if they need storage, we'll generate the storage. The whole point of the cloud is that you shouldn't have to give information you don't need to. If I can deduce it, if I can come up with it, I will. So I think I didn't overcomplicate, and we're just going to add the null application up here like we did with this one. So in our boxes over here, each one of these would have like our generated stuff inside of it. I'm going to have to sleep on this if I like it, but I'm trying to get, it's been a little while since I've written a lot of code, so I'm trying to get better about writing some of it, because sometimes you just have to write it and get a feel for it, get a feel for how that's going to work. So these are null application services, and we're going to, that means we need an ID, null application ID down here. And that means our ID here will be matched to the null application ID here. And we're going to do this null application service ID here, and we'll match this to a null application service ID. Okay. That's about as good as it gets, I think. So let's start using it. Okay. So now we should be able to create an L application. We're only making one application out of this. So we'll just make it in line here. Let's see. Service spec is what we need to generate. And we'll... Oh, no. 1 second. I have screwed up here. We don't need multiple service specs for this. This is one service. Then we can change this to has one. Now, this begs the question of, does this deserve to be even on its own table then? We can just literally embed these things into here. And I think that's generally better, especially if we're shooting for this to be in Postgres. You have to think of Postgres as, a row-oriented database, which means it's going to retrieve that whole row. And this would require us to do a join, and I'm not sure this makes sense because all of this stuff, name is just going to be repeated. There's not going to be multiple services for this service. This is a yeah. So I think I did over whatnot. It was a nice idea, I think, because we were making these things the things that got managed on our end, but I think it's just bad database practice there. I should kind of be ashamed of myself. The number one reason Postgres doesn't scale is because people use it poorly. I'm sorry. Okay, that's better. That's better. Get rid of this foolishness here. No, we need that. Whoa. I was getting a little too happy with my deleting. Just this service spec. There we go. We're just going to keep filling these in. Can you do it? Come on, Copilot. Do it for me. You got it. Okay, you don't. You don't have it at all. I'm just going to copy and paste because I don't remember them all. All right, we already have image. Nice. CPU. Perfect. So I think what we're going to do is... it already knew. We're going to limit everybody to 100. Or 1/10 of a CPU at the beginning. Mainly because that will let us... We'll be able to pack about 25 people, which is about the number of active Discord users on my little servers here doing that. I guess we can do like 1 gig, yeah. Okay, it's very upset. Let's clean this up a little. It's very upset about the whole thing. What's this red? I see some red in here. Missing comma. I don't see a missing comma. Oh, no, if okay. There we go. All right. So initially you're only going to have one application. Yeah, missing thank you. I was missing the colon. Now, the interesting thing here, I say interesting. I said that like the SHA was required, but we won't necessarily have the SHA until we build the repo, and then we should update it with the SHA that was built. But it hasn't been built yet, so I guess the SHA will be empty. That will kind of signify that it's not built. Okay. Null application, beans, get new. All right, so we can do this get null application after we get the resource group here. So we could do come on, Copilot. You saw that I got the resource group right here. Right here. You couldn't have used it right here? You couldn't have done that for us? That hurts my feelings. Cannot use resource group variable type of string as int64. Whoa, we're getting resource group as a string. Oh, we're getting resource group name. Oh, Copilot, you did well. You did well. We're getting its name. Why did we need its name? I think we should just update this function. 1 second. What were we using it for? Did we use it for anything? Oh, we do need its name because okay. Well, this is easy. What we're going to do is we're going to make it return 3 things. Name and ID. Boom. RGID. That's clear as mud. Return group name and group ID and nil. And we're going to okay. So we can't do this. If requested equals nothing, instead of returning here, we need to go find the default. Should default be a flag on the group, or should it be a name? I feel like we're going to go with it being a name of default first. And then we can update it. Requested equals default. Okay. Beautiful. So basically, everybody has to deploy something in a resource group, but we won't actually require them to specify because when their user gets created, they get a default resource group. to create stuff in. And then that way they don't have to specify a resource group if they don't want to. Although I'm starting to think, like, why not? Why not have them specify a resource group if they've already one created? It's like having a default VPC. Everybody wants a default VPC because it makes things easy. So maybe yes, it's default, but you always have to specify when creating what resource group. Hey, that's I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, declared and not used. I love that you will make this underlined red, but I cannot use all the enums and in a case or in a switch statement, and that's fine. That's fine. 100% fine. Okay, I'll stop harping about that. That still annoys me. And then I think this Git application. So this is what I was originally testing with, which does work. When it makes this resource in Kubernetes, I use this, which basically makes that resource definition. Maybe I should make this take our database object type and parse all of the stuff from that. I think that's what I would like to do because I think that feels right. Feels right. So we'll do models. Null application. And then, oh, wait. We'll just call that app. Then we'll run in here and go app.name. The namespace. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Okay, so we'll put namespace in here as well. Because that's calculated based off of the resource group and the user. So we'll leave that one in there. It's not part of the application. Should it be, though? Should we save in our model what namespace it's saved to? I think yes. Just like we put its resource limits and stuff in here. Now, the only thing is, it wouldn't be different per service. It would be set at the application level. I think I'm going to throw it in here. I think... I didn't want Kubernetes things to bleed into this. But if we needed to go and update it or go and mess with it, we would need to know its namespace. So I don't think I have a choice. I don't think I have a choice, which means we got to go up here and this Git application needs a namespace. Okay. This is part of the service. Since they only have one, this will be the one that, in theory, we should loop over this while generating this and create one of these for each service. And in theory, we should actually do this as well. We'll at least make it consistent. But we're shooting for one. No scope creep. Or no more scope creep, I feel like. All right, the last thing that we need to do is save this to the database right here. To do save to database. Okay. Let's do that right now. I feel like we should make a commit here, though. Yeah, let's do that. App controllers. And this would work without saving it to the database. So basically, this would actually, at this point, push it to the Kubernetes cluster with a valid thing if it was an image only. So the other thing that we have to do here is to do build container image if given a repo. So basically, we're going to have to do this before we actually do this. Although this is a custom resource definition, so really we could actually just do this immediately because this should be an asynchronous task. This can actually be deployed before we actually get the image, and then we'll just update the resource when we get the image. So this is something that we need to think about. I don't know if you're still on Dutch. Something I've been thinking about for the last just like several minutes at least. It's perplexed me exactly how I want to do this. So basically, we have a long-running a thing to build this repo. We actually have a separate service that's going to do it. So I know how I would do this in like a full service architecture. So like and with like an event-driven architecture. But we don't have the event-driven architecture. We're going to work that way. We're going to use nats.io instead of have you used nats.io, Dutch? Have you used this? We're going to use this instead of Kafka. I know, call me crazy, but I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. So basically, you can think of this as Kafka, but just designed to work in Kubernetes, unlike Kafka. And there's actually more reasons I want to use Nats than that. One of the reasons is, my whole goal is that you could have a microservice with event-driven and not have to manage that event-driven pipeline. Like, you just deploy your application, and if you had a config file for Nats, it would automatically just create I don't know what they're called in Nats, but a Nats topic. I'm going to say topic, whatever. Whatever the equivalent Nats is. Anyhow, But for us right now, what we need to do is we need to build this repo, and we have a service that will do that. It actually is there and works now. I say works. Let's works. You can go to application in this container builder. This is a microservice that has a thing. So we need to go do that. And then when it's done, we need to go and update this. Now, my goal was to long pull, but do we just long pull on this post, like right here? Do we just do like a go routine and just long pull on that? Or do we do something where there's actually like a dedicated thread that does a get from the I say a get, but goes to the database? Because what the other way that you could do this is you could have something that every 5 minutes gets all applications that have a thing that's building. We can mark it anytime that we request for it to be built, and then we could query on that and get all. We can put an index on it too, so it's pretty fast. And then we could get all application services that are in the state of building. And we could just have a thread that works on that. Or we could make it a job in Kubernetes. I want to do the simplest first and then make it easy to expand on. So that's why I was thinking that we would just this isn't to do anymore. That's a statement of what we're doing there. So that's why I was thinking the long polling, because like eventually maybe we do an event service like it with Nats. And it would be really simple. Like we would just do a go routine right here, spin it up, long pull that. Now the only thing is like if there's some failure, we're gonna have a bunch of long polls sitting there. But I mean like that's fine. We're just experimenting. This is effectively a proof of concept. So yeah. All right. Another thing that I noticed, application controller. While you're thinking on that, we're going to need to give this a bun database. It needs some buns. Let's get some buns on this thing. DB. I don't think that's what we want. 1 second. We did this before. I'm still getting accustomed to buns. This is what we want right here. Beautiful. Exactly what I was thinking. Dutch. Yep. The go routine that just keeps checking is simple, but that you'll eventually want is a watch that just gets notified. Right, you want that event-driven service. I love event-driven services. They're so fault resistant and tolerant and amazing. And that's what I want people to be able to do without all of the stuff like, well, now configure Kafka and make sure that your application has an access key to access Kafka and Kafka's properly locked down. Like, it's actually a lot of work to do a proper event. But yeah, we have to do it first. Okay. So we have our database. Let's just see how we set this up here too. So on function new, we did this, and this is where we created our models. Yes. So let's redo this. Wait a second. This should not be in here. Yeah. We should not do this anymore. We were doing something a little weird, but it's okay. And then this is the wrong models now, but I can fix that. Is that? I think we're down to the 2 because we had 3, got rid of the 3rd. So yeah, we have the null application, the null and a service in it. And these are ID, null application ID. Beautiful, beautiful. I think this is on point. So we just have those 2 models. We can delete this 3rd register. We probably need to be starting to pass in a context so we can cancel this. I'm being a little lazy. Just a little lazy. Actually, let's just delete that. That's not needed. Database DB. Why, thank you. All right. We're still complaining. We've got a little bit of fussiness. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I did fix this. But we needed both. So what we need to do is call this app models. Because that's what, oh, we already had app models and I just didn't use it. And so then I stomped on the regular model. So what we need to do is change this to, don't save it because I almost saved it because I do the habitual saving, but then it will delete it because it's like, it's not used. What we need to do is change these to this. There we go. It's only a little bit upset. How did I screw this up? Could not import Eddington API user. It's users. There we go. Yeah, but isn't that an anonymous import, which basically means it imports it into it, but I can't reference it? I was trying to reference it. I guess you're right. Just keep it there for a little while I could do like some import, and then yeah, you're right. I could do that. I have just tried to get into the habit of just not automatically saving it because that's what I do. I like type it out and then I hit save and it's like, yeah, you don't want that. You didn't just work hard to type that. I don't think so. No, absolutely not. I kind of expected there to be red in the main app. Yeah, I save like every 2 lines too. Sometimes twice per line, depending on how it is. That's exactly what happens to me. It's just like peace, and it's gone. I like that it cleans them up for me. Like honestly, I'm complaining, but I'm not at the same time. Shouldn't our main function be failing at this point in the API? Because don't we set up these controllers? And doesn't it need? Oh wait. No, it's fine because I'm just doing the in memory. That's right. I forgot. I'm not actually giving it a database. It should have a database injected in here. I get it. We're not there yet. We're just doing in memory. So if this server goes down, it's going down. And we're losing all of our data. Moon pie dumplings. What's this? This is your new favorite stream. That's right. I don't know about that. If you like programming in Go, Rust, if you like Kubernetes, I do a lot of all of those things. Now, I do some front end too, but usually people mock me when I do front end because I'm a really bad front end developer. I'm not a particularly good back end developer either, but I at least am better than I am in the front end. And so if you like to do that, if you like to talk about software engineering and software engineering management, you're more than welcome to join us. I do some things on stream for my YouTube videos. So I do a lot of educational software engineering YouTube videos. And so sometimes we have streams to do that. This Saturday, it's going to be a pretty fun. You're going to want to follow because this Saturday we are doing the very exciting semifinals to our AI games where we've pitted coding AIs against each other to see what coding AI is best and in what scenarios. Yes, we do use Linux. So I'm currently on Arch Linux. So let's see. We can cat my Etsy release. We're on Arch. So we do a bunch of stuff on Linux. Hopefully that's okay. Although if you are a Windows lover, you know what? There's WSL, so we won't hate on you too much. So you're more than welcome if you're a Windows lover. Just don't say that you're a Windows lover. Just say that you're stuck on Windows and you use WSL. It's fine. I'm just teasing. You're not a heathen. Good. Got that out of there. I do believe that Dutch is a heathen. I believe he uses Mac OS. Yeah, I was gonna say I do believe Dutch is a heathen. So, oh, you use VMware, dude. WSL is actually kind of cool. I was gonna say WSL is actually, if I only use Linux at this point, but if I had to pick, I think I would be tempted to run Windows because of WSL2. Yeah, but I've lost images through WSL. Oh, was that on WSL1 or WSL2? Because WSL2 is way better. WSL1 sucked very much. I actually have a video on the architecture because I think the architecture of WSL2 is really cool. And I know that's coming from a person that mostly for the last 5 years has used Linux. Okay. I don't use WSL very much, so like I couldn't comment. I do have this machine actually can boot into Windows because my kids and I game on Windows on this machine. But I don't actually use it for anything WSL related, so yeah, so Moon Pie Dumplings, you're absolutely right. You're right on. It's actually the Windows architecture, I think, is fairly cool at this point. And I actually would love to see. I actually would love to see Linux take from it. Linus is never going to, but it's kind of like this at this point, where you have this thing. I have a video on it, but you have this hardware interface, and it basically you could think of this as a kernel. And then this thing actually runs VMs. It runs them in Hyper-V. Not my favorite VM of choice, technology of choice, but it runs both of these right here. So it runs the Windows user space, and it runs Linux over here. It actually runs the Linux kernel here with virtualized stuff. So it's kind of cool. Oh no, Moonpie Dumplings. It is in Hyper-V, 100%, 100%. Absolutely. I think this is pretty cool. Because what you're doing, right? That's what this is down here. That's what this is down here. This is like the Hyper-V. It's very much similar to Zen, but you're bringing it to an OS architecture. So like in theory, you could be swapping these user experiences out without switching out the underlying hardware. So a lot of user desktops don't ever do this. But MoonPie dumplings, if you run just Windows, you're still running Hyper-V. That's what I'm telling you. This is the architecture of Windows at this point. This runs here, this one runs here. Yeah, let's Google. Let's Google. I'm not gonna Google live. Yeah, it uses a subset. I'm not gonna say it's full Hyper-V, but if you remember at the very beginning, I think I'm coming in a little hot. I'm getting a little excited. Sorry about that. Hopefully my mic isn't peaking. If you remember at the very beginning, they actually required you to have Windows Pro to use WSL, and that was because it was using Hyper-V. But now you can even do it in the user one because basically they made it where like the OS gets to use Hyper-V in the back end. Sure, I say Hyper-V. I'm saying it's a virtualization layer like Zen. If it's not exactly Hyper-V, maybe it's a subset. I will acquiesce happily to that. Yeah. Actually, the moon pie. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna moon pie dumplings is awesome, but it's also a long name to say. I was gonna show you a little bit of what we're working on in Go right now. So we have a lot of drawings to illustrate a bunch of this stuff, and I'm coming out with a YouTube video. So one of the things that I do is I do basically everything the hardest way on my YouTube channel, so people can learn from it. So we're building a database from scratch and learning all the different types of technologies to do that. And this, we're building our own cloud provider. I'm not saying it's unique. I'm sorry if I was. I agree that it's very similar to Zen. It's very similar to Zen. And like I'm saying, whether it's Hyper-V or a subset or some other thing, that's also fine. I don't think Hyper-V is going to be sunset soon. I can check with some people that work there. My guess is if it does get sunset soon, it would have to have a replacement very quickly because of how integrated Hyper-V is with Azure. So like Azure depends on it. No, but Azure itself requires Hyper-V because so if you want to go build an image that will run in Azure, you actually have to build it in Hyper-V first. That's how you build an Azure VM image, like a base image that you could reuse. That's now you can use one that is in the marketplace, sure, but the ones that are in the marketplace, like the Debian and those are actually built in Hyper-V first. So I don't. Yeah, I don't see Hyper-V being sunset soon. Like I could be completely wrong. I don't have inside information. Not yet. I'm going to email a couple people. But and then I probably couldn't tell you. But yeah. Oh, moon pies! Thanks for the follow. Check that out. You got an AI generated message just for you. In the realm of rolling hills and radiant moons, Wanderlust brewed within moon pie Okay, this is a little weird. You're a bard. Captivated by your valor and kindness, he sought to join your quests. Enthusiastic, he played his lute, weaving melodies that ignited bravery in your companions. Together, you faced fearsome dragons, rescued kingdoms, and triumphed over darkness. With each victory, Moonpie pledged loyalty. This AI likes saying that you pledge loyalty. I said, welcome our new follower, and it to do that, it decided loyalty pledging was yeah. No, sorry, Moon Pies. If somebody tells me something in confidence, it is in confidence, and I don't share it on stream. Thank you very much. I actually have to be really careful. There will be times when I'm talking about something that I know, and I will Google it on stream because I also have like I have several NDAs with several different companies where like I know stuff ahead of time, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. And so like sometimes I'll be like, oh, let's Google this really quickly. Just because I have to make sure it's public knowledge first. So I'm pretty careful about that. But yeah, we made that on stream. That's our Twitch follow and subscribe bot. So you get a personalized message when you subscribe. I really like it. We need to work on it a little bit, but I really like it. I think it works pretty nice. It needs a sound. It doesn't have any audio at this point. But you know, that's fine. All right, this is pretty much good to go. We are setting up our new models. We're doing it in memory, which is pretty cringe, but I think that's fine. I'm pretty sure that's fine. Nobody's gonna know. Now we just need to save this. Let's see if we can't just suss out how to save this. So we'll do. We're gonna do a. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Copilot, you're pretty good. Insert new null app. Yes, I think that's what we want. What is this returning that we're ignoring though? What does exec return? Oh, the result. We'll take the result. So an interesting thing here that we found out is that while using SQLite, you can't use this result like you could with Postgres, which I think is kind of a shame, but it will be okay. Also, thanks for following. I appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna save to the database, and then let's check our error. What's your favorite language, Moonpie Dumplings? Any of the regulars here? I try to get to know them a little bit. Dutch is Go. Russell is probably Rust. Python and okay, Python. I am pretty bad. Oh, do you want to know? I did something in Python on stream the other day. Check this out. I'm proud of it too. Let's see. Watch this. We are going to code stream animations, full screen animator, main.python. Oh, Dutch, you're getting a little rusty? Ready to join the club, are you? I wrote this in Python. Because on my longer Saturday streams, I needed to be right back and I needed to move just a little bit for people to know that the stream wasn't just dead. We did this in Python. But that is pretty much my entire Python knowledge, so don't judge me. We do some machine learning in Python. So my Python's really bad. It's just as much as I need to do our machine learning. That's pretty much it. And as you can see, I made an AI that really loves me. Dude, it is not supposed to talk about loyalty. and pledging allegiance. I said, welcome our new follower. Gosh. All right. I actually don't think we want to do anything with the request right now. So now we got to build our new image. And this... print the file. Just give a whole bunch of HTML. Why is their resume 20 pages long? That's interesting. I would think that there is a... you're telling me that there's not a HTML to PDF? No, that's kind of dumb. I don't want it to be online. I bet you there's something that you can get to do HTML to PDF. That seems like something that exists in Python. No other language, mind you. Online ones don't preserve CSS. That sucks. That sucks. You know what? If you had done it in Tailwind, I'm sure it would have worked. Probably not. That's a joke. All right. So one thing that we're going to have to do here is create a new client. So let's do that. We're going to do it up here. We need a database builder client. Not a database builder, but we need a image builder. Image builder client. And that's going to be a pb dot. Let's go look at where that is. Okay. I just want to highlight the. I thought the conversion would be simple. I believe this is true of every single everything that I do. That turns out to not be simple. That turns out not to be simple at all. So this should be container service client. Container service client. Dude, because it's JavaScript. That's why. So this is the thing that builds our container, our service. Okay, so I much more fall to the JavaScript hater. I will be honest. What was it called again? I got distracted again. It was called container service. Container service client. That's what we want. Moon pie dumplings, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be. I feel like there are two languages that would exist in Python and JavaScript. Like, no other group of users are going to have that, but I feel like it should exist. All right, so now we need to do the gRPC dial thing here. Let's see if Copilot figures it out. Nope. I'm actually going to rename this to container service client just to keep it. There we go. Come on. That's not at all what we needed. You have no other suggestions? Okay, I'm going to have to go look it up. I don't remember. You have to like do the gRPC dial. Golang gRPC. I don't remember what the term is. It's called dial. You gotta do the dial. Blah 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 blah. Where is dial? Let me search for it. There we go. There we go. This is what I was looking for. All right. So yeah, it's gRPC dial and then the server address. Oh. Server address. I guess that will just be a load balancer, so we should just be able to use that. Wait. Random JS development is funded under further notice. But Dutch has a good point. What would be better for your resume than writing it yourself? You could put it right on your resume. Do you know what's the biggest shame? Is this used to be simple because you just used to use at least what I would do is I just would use Stack Overflow's like developer story, and it was beautiful because you could like print it off as a PDF, and it would do it really nicely. And then I didn't worry about styling or anything. And then they deprecated it and got rid of it for whatever reason. That's not needed. I guess we should do some sort of flag for this. What options are they looking for? I don't remember. Ooh, a markdown resume? I like the sounds of that. I like that. Oh, moon pies. Hold on. Don't post any more links because you will get moderated. I can show this link. If you're around, you'll get posted so that you can post links in the future. Absolutely. I gotcha though. We don't. We'll just skip the options. We'll just do with insecure for right now. So one thing that we'll do is we'll actually do all of this with a TLS sidecar from Istio. So we'll just do MTLS using Istio, which I think will be nice. Let's update this default. Let's see. Localhost is not the right way. We should do if we have a container builder service, that should route to it, I think. So we're gonna have to get all of these things working in also MoonPie, if you'd like. At the bottom of the stream, there should be a Discord. You can join the Discord. And you can chat about stuff like this as well. So I'm probably no good at helping with this. So I would try to do it. But I think also I don't want to show this on stream anyways, just because it has your personal information on it. So oh, we all have the Matrix. It's a part of all of us. That's right. But I have Discord. I have a Discord server. I opened Discord and immediately got a notification that Discord attempted to port scan. Yeah, good luck. And yeah, maybe we can help. What do you mean tried to port scan? That seems a little hmm. I mean, I know what port scanning is, but okay. Use with transport credentials and insecure new credentials. Okay, so it's wanting to do. It's wanting us to do this with transport. Oh, it's wanting us to do this right here. Okay. Hmm. HTTP instead of HTML. Yeah. Your poor HTML. Okay. See you later, Moon Pie. Okay, I need to actually look at the tilt file now because we need to actually deploy. We don't have a deploy for the container. Yeah, let's do a new folder here. Container builder. And we'll need two. Actually, let's just copy and paste. What are we doing here? Oh, that's right. Because we're just pointing it to the stuff that Cube Builder points to for the operator. Oh, actually, we don't need a config map. I don't know what I was thinking. What did I just do? Okay. Well. We need a service. We'll just take this one. I'll borrow you. Now, if this is the service name here, and we're in the same namespace, then the default up here should be this same thing right here. There we go. So that means in tilt, without any flags set, this should, in theory, connect. I say in theory. I haven't used tilt all that much. Do we want it on port 80? I don't think so. I think we actually want to just port it through the 5051. Now, let's see. Oh, we also need to Dockerify. No, we've already got the. This is all in the. So we have the container runner. We have the API. So we just need to. We don't need this. We'll just do the service, I think. So let's just take this. All right. So deployment, container builder, deployment.yaml. I think this should come under the same folder. We're just using this as like a local deploy type of thing. Deployment service.yaml. Now we do need to Docker build this first. So application container runner. No, this is container builder. This is the container builder, yeah. Now, I'm not sure if we've made a container for it yet. I know, Dutch. I know. And I've tried to keep it simple, right? Like, I do consciously try to keep it not big, but like I made a separate service to build a container instead of just slamming it into the API. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe all of this should have been in the API, but that felt wrong, especially since I have to mount the Docker socket and do that type of stuff. Like, I'm trying to not make it so bad. Like, you know those like proof of concepts that are complete throwaways? And then I'm trying to make this a little bit better than a complete throwaway. Like, I want it to work. I want it to be something I can build on. But my goodness, I don't disagree with you. No, we don't have a Docker file here yet, so we'll just do a new one. I'm going to be super lazy, and I'm just going to reuse what we did in here because this is a pretty solid one, and it should work because it's just building the Go thing. So the only thing we have to do is not build an API. We're building the container builder. It is a lot of separation by folders. This is another thing that I don't know if I like, but I did. So I did a mono repo. So like, you know, the UI is in here as well. We have a hack. We have the thing that watches GitHub, which has nothing in it at this point. Like just it has me playing around a little bit in it. So I guess I could delete this for right now, which would help clean it up a little. We have some docs. We have, yeah, I don't know. I hate mono repos. All right, that should be solid. Well, and that's why I did the mono repo was because like it just keeps for right now, everything's in one spot. You can see it right here. If you want to go to the API service, it's right here. If you want to go to stuff for the application, there's two things. There's the thing that runs the application. This is the Kubernetes operator that we built a little bit ago, and then there's the container builder that actually builds containers. And then this has the auth stuff for Ori. I don't know. I don't know. It feels gross. Feels gross. Okay, so let's and then like yeah, we have these deployment files which all deploy it locally. So we have this as this. I think we need to change here. This, you know what? I don't think we need to change. What we need to do is basically just tell tilt. This is the file. So container builder, we want to build this. Because what it will do is it will build this image and then it will replace those in here. Okay. I think let's just run tilt and see how this fails. Ooh, one thing to be careful of. I'm pointing at my K0 cluster. You don't want to do that with tilt because tilt will nuke it. Now, it actually looks for production. So if it's not a kind cluster, it actually will warn you and say, do you really want to do this? Which is nice. Sweet. Oh, it did not like this. Okay, okay. You stop. You stop. I messed up. It's trying to pull. So it's trying to pull the latest instead of replacing it with its own with this one here, the Addington container builder. Now, what I'm thinking it's doing is let's do this. No. Is that the reason? I don't know. Because I didn't have oh wait, I screwed that up. Okay. So basically what it does is when it builds this, it will replace if this image matches the base image in a YAML file, it will actually replace it with the one that it built locally, which is pretty cool, but I don't think it's quite working right now. Has a little bit of magic. I don't do well with magic. So let me look at the deployment file. Should I just delete the latest part? I feel like I shouldn't have to. I feel like I don't do that here. I actually put a a version on it. So for the API service, yeah, I just give it the name, the API service, and build, and then I give it this, and it works. Why is this not working? Maybe I just needed the refresh button. No, no, no. Okay, yeah. So this is now working. It's building the container image. Ran at this. Oh, I know what's happening here. So this is the container issue. If we look at it, so this is an interesting. So this project is all using Go modules. So like we have a module for our proto buffers here. The interesting thing is when you look at these container images and how you normally do it, that's not part of the stuff. So that code has to exist. Or when you run go mod tidy and it tries to pull down from the internet, it won't be there because it's not part of the same module. So I'm builder 4 out of 7. 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing it's this one. I don't think working directory is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So run go mod tidy is the thing that's dying. Wait. It's saying run go mod download. Where do we do that? Okay. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, run go mod download. I can't imagine this working, right? Or I guess it should because we already pushed the protos. They exist out there. All right. And it's saying reading go. It's saying no such file exists. There is two, good sir. There is two. Docker build. So no, it should be pulling it from GitHub. Oh, it's being replaced by. No, you're right. You're right. I glazed over this. Replaced by. Okay. And it doesn't exist there. I see. So if we go here and go into our Go mod, I believe this. Okay. So this will never work as is, and I think honestly you just don't do this step. This is the easiest way around this. I just is to do this. I know this is kind of the but if we just copy all the code in that is local, that's what we want anyways. Maybe for a production container we want to do it where we don't do that. Good call out. It's still errored. Is this the right directory? I'm yeah, it's got to be. That's how it ran. So yeah, 1, 2 up, back out. Oh, but this Docker file is only copying here, which would just be the container builder. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Which means it doesn't have 2 back because right, it's going to have the same problem. It absolutely is going to have the same problem. Well, I don't know what this is. This is a different problem. So it has a different problem. Yeah, this is just a problem with the protos. Okay. So I think the solution is just to delete this. Oh, will it work in the Go work? I don't know Go work that well. I like the idea because then when I'm building the containers locally, it will use it. When I'm building them in the container, like in this thing, it won't. I don't know what I did there. Maybe you're brilliant, Dutch. I take that back. This very well could be other issues, though. Let's see. Let's see. Invalid revision. What was the revision in here? I think we're on to it, though. I mean, without a doubt. Are you also proud of your humility? Is that one of your best traits? That's good. That is good. Okay, so I don't think that he's actually importing. Let's see. Invalid version, unknown revision of, and this all comes down to protos. So what I think I'm going to just do is this. So it's interesting because when this was first done, it was done just locally, and those protos didn't exist. Now they do exist now. Okay, I thought that that was like the version. Um, 1 second. Let's check for updates. Upgrade direct dependencies. Come on. What is the direct dependency here? Why does it keep doing that? All right. Let's see. We need to. Let's just go install this. Maybe you need a go work in the container builder folder. We're just throwing mud now. Maybe. Go install. Usage require module path. Wait. Cannot load module listed in go work file. Error parsing go mod. It wants a version here, but I don't want to give it a version because it doesn't like my version. Right, no matching versions. How do I just tell it to install the latest? Go mod get latest. I just want the latest. So usually I would just delete this and then do go mods tidy and it would import it. Maybe that's what I just needed to do. Okay, maybe we're good now. Yep. Delete it and go mod tidy. 100%. You and I were on the same path there. Oh, it's go get with a U. It's a U at latest. Okay. I screwed it up. I think I just did yeah, I did go install. And it was supposed to be go get. I usually just use tidy, to be honest. So now let's try the Docker build. I have good feelings. I have good feelings. Yeah, I have. I probably over rely on tidy just because it generally helps me fix stuff up, especially if you have to ever import anything from Kubernetes. Like, good luck. Good luck. I have a whole page on. I have a whole page on if you tread down this path. First, stop and think, do I need to tread down this path? Second, think if there's any other way than treading down this path. All right. Failed restarting the container. Okay, but we're good. We built the container. It doesn't work. But I mean, yeah. Wait. I don't get what you're saying. Your go work is definitely not happening, by the way. So you might need a go work in the builder folder that you. Um. Okay. Possibly. Now, I followed one thing when I was first setting it up. The go work command now supports a workspace mode. If a go.work file is found in the working directory or a parent directory, or one is specified. So I didn't know they could be in child directories. It is working. Oh, yeah, because I don't have a workspace here, and I didn't want it to because the Docker file only pulls in the code for this. I was wanting it to pull it in um from GitHub. Because otherwise, to build the container builder, I have to import all the code, right? Um so I think I don't know. You're probably right for development. It should be the local because if you change them and haven't pushed them to GitHub, then it would be a real pain. So maybe you're right that we need to do that. And maybe we have two containers, one's that's for production that uses just off of GitHub and one that is for your local development environment where it pulls in the whole code base. That's probably the correct way of doing it, honestly. Um Probably the best way of doing it, to be honest. I was just trying to get something working. Wait. Oh yeah, I do just want to see my stuff work. Oh, I thought you were like making fun of the name. Okay, so naming is hard, and I named it Eddington because it's like the end all be all clouds. And so then I was like, oh, I'm gonna call it Supernova, and then Supernova is taken, of course. And then I was like, I'm gonna call it Binary Star, and then of course Binary Star is. So the Eddington number is a pretty cool number, made by a mathematician who's only not super famous because there was the likes of other really famous physicists at the time, and I thought it was cool. Anyways, um, hey, hey, Nun, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, we're doing Kubernetes, Go, Rust, and machine learning. We do a little bit of everything here. Um, we also fail sometimes. Actually, the last 3 weeks, it's been more failing than it's been succeeding, but we're getting close to succeeding. We're getting close. Have you ever used a thing called Tilt? That's what we're using right now. I'm not getting any logs off of this crash, which is interesting. Interesting, at the very least. Let's see. And I looked through the replica set, and the replica set actually seemed to be lying to me. Seemed to be lying to me. Oh, this is actually really interesting. So we have this is like the history of the replica set. This seems to think this is working. Maybe it got stable, but this says that the pod isn't. So you know what? Let's check this out. Okay, describe rs. Boom. Did I miscopy and paste that? Oh, I 100. No. One second. I think I did. I think I miscopied and pasted that. Oh wait. That's the wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, it's saying it's not ready. Maybe I was looking at the wrong one. My bad. Oh, cool. Pod events. That's actually a good one too. I wanted to check the replica set really quickly. Think I think that I was actually checking the wrong one replica set, which was my bad. Um, let's see. Let's see. Here's our status condition. Um, we can do the events next for sure. So we container ready falls. I almost think I know what it is, but I thought I should see something. So let's do the events. I haven't done this command in a while. Events. Um, let's see. We're working in the default namespace. Shoot. Let's see. I want to filter it. There's a way to filter it to the pod. We could do that as well. I don't need to filter. I was thinking I need to filter it, and then I was like, "There's no way I need to filter it. There's not that many things at this point on this." Yeah, this looks fairly straightforward. Like these were things that we did, but like, yeah. I've had people recommend K8s. Do you really like it? You think I should get it? I'll have to go get it. It's pretty cool. Now we need there's a flag for the last pod, right? Let's see. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Snapshot logs. Previous. Nice. I'm not getting anything from it. So we kind of built this container in a rush, and so I'm kind of not surprised that it's failing, but I feel like let's actually build it and run it locally. Um, oh, somebody needs to clean this up. This is horrifying. This is horrifying. Does my app have logs? Yes, but okay, so long story short, this is a separate service. There's multiple services in here. This is a long story. You know what? I'm going to give it to you because I don't think I'm going to fix this before the stream ends because it's past midnight for me. It's actually almost 1 o'clock and I've got to get up in the morning. So this is a late night for me. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to do here. But basically, what we're doing is we're creating the next generation cloud. We are creating the next generation cloud. What I'd really like to do is I feel like everybody wants to build an event driven architecture. And the fact of the matter is it's actually hard to do because we have this thing called infrastructure as code. And I've come to decide that I don't like infrastructure as code because infrastructure as code still requires us to manage infrastructure. What if the entire cloud could just provision the infrastructure we need? If you need a Kafka topic, it could provision a Kafka topic for your application to use. Like, we shouldn't have to do all of those things, and those things should be done safely and securely for us so that best practices are used and all those types of things. So that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah, it's all open source. It's all out there. We're using it as a learning experience. We're taking notes. I'm going to make a video on some of this stuff as well. So yeah. Yeah, the whole idea is to build a cloud where you don't provision anything. You point it at your repos, and this is a part that kind of works right now. So this container builder builds a container based off of the repo. You don't even have to build a Docker file for it. We're using build packs and building it. And so like we can look at the API to build an application. When you go to like build an application, you give it a Git repo and the repo type. We don't support right now the repo type that you can pick from. There's only a few different types of repos that we support. We support Node.js, Go, Rust, and Python. And we'll build a container and we'll deploy it in a sandbox with your other services. So, oh, you tried it on Python? I am not a Python person. I am not a Python person. I am not a Node person. Node and Python are here purely because a lot of people are. I'm a Rust and Go person. So, I'm a Rust and Go person. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. And we just today we created this container builder. And it's we just created an image, so there is nothing here. It's brand new. Firecracker, yeah, I have heard about Firecracker. Yep. I like Firecracker. It feels half dead to me. It feels half dead to me. Where's their Git repo? I just want, yeah. So like it has some stuff like in the .github, and like you can see some stuff here is happening, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Like yeah, obviously it's active. It just feels kind of rough. Are you saying instead of containers to use Firecracker on the back end? So right now, instead of just straight, I was using gvisor to build in the security. Do you think Firecracker would be better? I'm happy to try it out at one point. The last time I looked at Firecracker, I didn't find a way to use not an easy, well-supported way to use Firecracker instead of containers, because you have a KubeVirt, or not KubeVirt. Is it KubeVirt? It's KubeVirt, right? KubeVirt. Yeah, KubeVirt. You have KubeVirt, but KubeVirt didn't really work with Firecracker, did it? At least the last time I checked, it didn't. This is the thing that I'm thinking of, right? That does KubeVirt technology address the needs of development teams that adopt or want Kubernetes. You've chosen Fire. OpenBlue is a cloud platform. Also, you can check. Okay. Cool. I will give it a check out. Oh, Open Nebula. Oh, okay. I actually know what Open Nebula is. I don't know why when you typed it, I didn't see the double N. Ugh. Isn't Open Nebula kind of a OpenStack? Does it leverage OpenStack? I feel like it does. I could be wrong. Kind of, it's easier. That's not hard. um. That's not hard. Yeah, OpenStack is a dumpster and a half. Oh, maybe Ignite from Weavework supports KubeVirt. We could look at it. Because gvisor is a pain, so yeah. Anyhow, I need to get going. It is super late. I meant to be in bed an hour ago. Um yeah, I meant to be in bed like an hour ago. Um I'm going to get going. Remember, I'm not streaming this Thursday. Sorry about that. Birthdays. Saturday is going to be a shorter stream than usual, but we are doing our AI showdown on Saturday, so join in for that if you'd like. And we'll see which is the best AI in, well, the semifinals. So, anyways, good night. Thanks everybody for joining and watching. I had fun, and I will see you around in the next time. Oh, thank you. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We go get donuts. Too many donuts, so I will gain a pound. And then we play some Xbox and Nerf guns and the park. Those are like the major things on our thing. We have a water park we're gonna go to. So yep, we're gonna have fun. So, anyways, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, night, morning, wherever it is, and I will see you guys